Nobody likes it when a situation arises that they can't control, when they have no other option but the one they have to settle for instead of choosing for themselves. Well, I've been in my share of those predicaments. The one that happened before this one saved me from the certainty of being trapped on the 103rd floor of the South Tower when the deep state cabal set off the explosives. Romans 8:28. All things, not just the good things, work together for good for those who love God and are the called according to his purpose. I guess I will find out pretty soon what the good Lord has snatched me up out of this time. And perhaps this is why I was made to leave the Philadelphia area last month. A story today, published 18 minutes ago and appeared on my newsfeed, says Philadelphia orders all residents to stay home starting Monday, which is tomorrow. Philadelphia Mayor Jim Keeney, Samantha Madeira City of Philadelphia. Philadelphia officials are issuing a stay-at-home order and banning public gatherings beginning at 8 a.m. on Monday in an effort to slow the spread of the novel coronavirus. There are currently at least 479 cases of COVID-19 in Pennsylvania and 96 cases in Philadelphia, according to health officials. 2 deaths have been reported statewide. The city's emergency restrictions no longer end on Friday, March 27th. To align with Governor Tom Wolf's order, the city's order remains in effect until further notice. Gatherings of any number of people, except for essential business and activities, walk-in takeout orders at restaurants and food trucks will be prohibited. Hot shit. And there are rumors that habeas corpus has been suspended. I'm going to look into that, but I was right in the Philadelphia area when the good Lord saw fit to get me to fuck up out of there. I'm glad I'm gone. And here is the only thing that I could find about the suspension of habeas corpus, and the source is Rolling Stone magazine. A bunch of pot-smoking, acid-dropping, mushroom-eating hippies from the 60s. They write this thing. They don't give it much credibility. But here's the story. Published March 21st, that was yesterday, at 4:54 p.m. Eastern Time. Get rid of this crap. DOJ wants to suspend certain constitutional rights during coronavirus emergency. The only emergency is people believe this bullshit. That's the emergency. The Department of Justice has secretly asked Congress, I like that, secretly. I asked them, so if it's a secret, how the fuck do you know? For the ability to detain arrested people indefinitely, in addition to other powers that one expert called terrifying. You know, this is a hit piece on, I can tell right from the beginning, this is a hit piece on Trump. This is what this is, secretly asked Congress. So Rolling Stone knows about what the Justice Department secretly asked Congress. But please, stop blowing smoke up my ass, okay? Stop blowing smoke up my ass. I'm getting rectal emphysema from this bullshit. U.S. Attorney General William Barr participates in a news conference with Justice Department officials. From Michael Reynolds, EPA, EFE, Shutterstock, whatever the fuck. Oh, that's the picture. The Trump Department of Justice has asked Congress to craft legislation allowing chief judges to indefinitely hold people without trial and suspend other constitutionally protected rights during coronavirus and other emergencies, according to a report by Politico's Betsy Woodruff Swan. That's another great source, Politico. While the asks from the Department of Justice will likely not come to fruition with a democratically controlled House of Representatives. Oh, really? Oh, there we go again. All of these little phrases that they stick in there, is what Ellen White in her book Desire of Ages called covert negatives. They leave it to your imagination. Democratically controlled House of Representatives secretly ask Congress. What a crock of shit. They demonstrate how much this White House has a frightening disregard for rights enumerated in the Constitution. Oh, how did I know it was a hit piece? The DOJ has requested Congress allow any chief judge of a district court to pause court proceedings whenever the district court is fully or partially closed by virtue of any natural disaster, civil disobedience, or other emergency situation, according to draft language obtained by Politico. This would be applicable to any statutes or rules of procedure otherwise affecting pre-arrest, post-arrest, pre-trial, trial, and post-trial procedures in criminal and juvenile proceedings and all civil processes and proceedings. They justify this by saying currently judges can pause judicial proceedings in an emergency, but that new legislation would allow them to apply it in a consistent manner. What a crock of crap. But the Constitution grants citizens habeas corpus, which gives arrestees the right to appear in front of a judge and ask to be released before trial. Enacting legislation like the DOJ wants would essentially suspend habeas corpus indefinitely until the emergency ended. Further, DOJ asked Congress to suspend the statute of limitations on criminal investigations and civil proceedings during the emergency until a year after it ended. Norman L. Reimer, executive director of the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, told Politico the measure was terrifying, saying not only would it be a violation of habeas corpus, but it says affecting pre-arrest. So that means you could be arrested and never brought before a judge until the day they decide that the emergency or the civil disobedience is over. I find it absolutely terrifying. Especially in a time of emergency, we should be very careful about granting new powers to the government. We should be very wary of granting any powers to the government. Government is a bunch of criminals. That is something that should not happen in a democracy, he added. This is not a democracy, this is a constitutional republic. DOJ also asked Congress to amend the federal rules of criminal procedure to have defendants appear at a hearing via video conference instead of in person with the defendant's consent, although in a draft obtained by Politico, the sections about requiring consent were crossed out. But it's not just Americans' rights the DOJ wants to violate. They also asked Congress to pass a law saying that immigrants who test positive for the COVID-19 virus cannot qualify as asylum seekers. As coronavirus spreads through the country, activists are calling on politicians in office to release prisoners and immigrants held in detention centers, both of which can be a hotbed of virus activity with so many people in close quarters and limited or non-existent supplies of soap, sanitizer, and protective equipment. Yeah, they want them out so they could vote in the November elections. You ain't fooling me. Some states have already begun to do so. But with this, the Trump administration is taking steps to hold more people in prisons for an undetermined amount of time, showing their priority is not saving lives, but giving themselves more power. Yeah, what a crock of shit. Rolling Stone, if you get this magazine, you should subscribe to this magazine so you can wipe your ass with it in lieu of toilet paper. Please subscribe to our backup channels. Net4Truth USA 2 Patriot channel, BitChute.com/net4Truth USA, and drop.space /@Net4Truth USA. We fly so close to the target, we are on our 5th fighter jet. We will be relentless and persistent until the enemies of freedom are defeated. You can support this channel by using the links in the description, but for a $100 donation, I will personally send you a autographed hardcover special edition copy of Land of Childhood's Fears. Also, visit my bookstore at lulu.com/net4truth USA. If you are viewing this video on BitChute, you can use the links in the description to support us, or simply click the green $sign dot on our video to support this channel. Thank you. Links are in the description section.